Are you ready to start investing in index funds, but you're not quite sure what an index fund is or how to get started? Well, in this video, I'm going to be covering exactly that. What an index fund is, how to begin investing in it, and why you should start today. So if you're ready, let's execute. Hey, what's going on, guys? Trey here. So if this is your first time visiting this channel, thank you for stopping by. My intent for this channel is to add value to people's lives, particularly in the areas of getting you out of debt, helping you on your journey to financial freedom so that you can begin building wealth. So if this is something that you might be interested in, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any other content that will help you on your journey to build wealth. So without further ado, let's get this video started. All right, so what exactly is an index fund? Well, in order to understand what an index fund is, first you have to understand what a stock market index is. A stock market index is an index that refers to the relative value of a group of stocks. So each stock market index is going to comprise of different stocks. For instance, it could be Google, it could be Amazon, Walmart, Tesla, Home Depot, just to name a few. Although there are many different examples of a stock market index, I'll name a few of the more popular ones. Number one, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 consists of the 500 leading companies within the leading industries. The Dow Jones Industrial consists of 30 of the top blue chip stocks, and the NASDAQ 100, the 100 largest securities on the NASDAQ stock market. So in a nutshell, a stock market index is an index that refers to the relative value of a group of stocks. So now that we know what a stock market index is, what exactly is an index fund? An index fund is a mutual fund that is designed to track a stock market index such as the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, or the Dow Jones Industrial. So for example, if you buy stocks in the S&P 500, you own small shares of the 500 leading companies within the 500 leading industries. Give you an additional example. You could purchase individual stocks, let's say in Tesla, on its own. An index fund instead is created so that you can purchase shares in this index fund, which comprises of not only Tesla, but also other leading companies within that particular industry. Are you following me so far? So instead of owning one share of Tesla, an index fund is created so that you can own multiple shares of different companies. So relatively speaking, by buying one share of a particular index fund that tracks the S&P 500, you now own a small share of 500 of the largest companies within the largest leading industries. In addition, the index fund was created by John C. Bogle on December 31st, 1975. Now, the reason that he decided to create the index fund was to be able to add value to the investor instead of the company by lowering the commission, or what is commonly referred to as the expense ratio. Now, the expense ratio is something that you're going to hear quite often when you dabble into purchasing index funds or ETFs. An expense ratio is essentially how much you are being charged for that particular fund to be managed. So in essence, it's a commission rate that you're paying to an individual who's managing that particular stock. One of the largest differences between a mutual fund and an index fund is how it is managed. An index fund is generally passively managed, which means you're not paying a high expense ratio for someone to actively manage that fund. On the contrary, a mutual fund is one that is actively managed. So you're paying a higher expense ratio for that particular fund to be managed active. So now that we understand what a stock market index is and also what an index fund is, how do we start investing? So there are 4 steps that you need to take in order to begin investing in index funds. Step number 1, you either need to open a brokerage account through Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, just to name a few, or you could begin investing by going through an app on your phone such as M1 Finance, Webull, or Robinhood, just to name a few. Now, to give you an example, I opened a brokerage account through Vanguard. Now, in order to open that brokerage account through Vanguard, you'll generally require a minimum deposit in order to begin investing in these index funds. For instance, in order to begin investing in VTSAX, which is a particular type of index fund that tracks the S&P 500, you would need a minimum deposit of $3,000. Now, I already know what you're saying. Wait a minute. So in order for me to begin investing, I need to put in $3,000? Yes, to begin investing in some index funds. Now, on a more positive note, you can begin investing in an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund, which is pretty much the exact same thing as an index fund. The only difference is an exchange traded fund can be traded throughout the entire day, whereas an index fund can only be traded at the close of market. So step number one, you need to open a brokerage account or open an account through M1 Finance, Webull, or Robinhood, or applications as such to begin investing. All right, so step number two. You want to choose a stock market index that you want to begin tracking. Earlier, I mentioned what a stock market index is. You want to choose whether you want to track an S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial, the NASDAQ 100, to name a few. But step number two, you want to choose which stock market index you want to begin tracking. Step number three, choose your index fund. When you start researching which index fund you want to track, you're going to run across a term called ticker symbols. Now, a ticker symbol is basically the name given to a particular index fund. For an example, VTSAX, VTIAX, SPY, to name a few. On the exchange traded fund or ETF side of the house, there can be VOO, VTI, VUG, just to name a few. So step number three, you want to choose the index fund that you want to use in order to track a particular stock market index. Step number four, you've opened a brokerage account, you've chosen the stock market index that you want to track, you've chose the index fund that you want to utilize in order to track that stock market index. The only thing left to do is to buy shares. Now, you can purchase those shares through the website in itself, depending upon which brokerage account you're going through. So if you're going through Vanguard, you can purchase those shares through the Vanguard website. If you're going through Fidelity, you can purchase them through Fidelity. If you're going through Webull, M1 Finance, or Robinhood, you can purchase whichever index fund that you chose to purchase through those particular applications. All right, guys, so there you have it in a nutshell. How to invest in index funds for beginners. So if you found this video to be insightful in any way, please subscribe to this channel as it helps the channel to grow. Additionally, smash the like button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any other crucial content to help you spearhead your journey to financial freedom as well as building wealth. So until the next video, I'll see you later.